heard you on it because I was like, that's gonna be some great talking. I mean, this would be always good music, but you know, you and I are just two musicians.
Right.
What the fuck are we gonna talk about for an hour?
Well, we would have just put on, you know.
The secret is not getting me
concert.
to talk. The secret is getting me to shut up.
How we doing?
All right, should be starting any second.
I'll tell you about my last band.
Cool.
The demise of my last band.
Are you doing it back
I could buy you roses, but that's not me. Can't see
it's a
me
killer, huh?
proposing on bended knee. And I don't wanna celebrate on Valentine's,
Some of the history
but
stuff you
I
talk
would
about on the
crush the
stage.
grapes to make you wine.
Sergeant Pepper was
I
number
like to watch the
167.
sunset through your eyes.
Nice.
Or I could always write your name across the sky. I could even climb up on your bar
How's that bass
escape
come?
and play you yesterday on my guitar.
I just turned that mic towards you.
Matters everything to you when your whole world shatters. I wanna be original. I won't send you flowers. On the side of the Eiffel Tower, make love to you in the lightning shower. I wanna be original. I won't send you flowers. Something of a savior from the average day. If you rather stay home and be with me, I just miss the way we used to be. 'Cause I wanna be the one who matters everything to you. Here comes the sun, doo doo doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo doo doo. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo 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 doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Two more. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo doo doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's
it's alright. Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. It's alright. It's alright. That middle part.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice, man. Welcome, everybody. I hear. Oh, is that my phone? It's my phone making that noise.
Wow.
Truly jam. We're
Yes.
truly jamming.
Never met anybody here before except for this guy. But yeah, I mean, you guys probably know these faces. Malcolm Gold over here playing bass. Mr. Jackie the Joke Man Martling playing some acoustic guitar.
I'm officially the groupie.
That's right. He's gonna blow you all after the show. That's right.
Whoa! Hey!
Hey! Oh!
Honey,
Hey!
honey,
Off
put
to
the
the
kids to
races.
bed. Put the kids to
Sorry,
bed.
sorry, kids. Sorry.
And co-hosting this evening,
Tony.
Yo!
Mr. Tony Walker.
Hi, guys.
And engineering, as always, the lovely Sally O'Neill.
Yay! Hey everyone.
So what's going on?
So the last time I was in a three-piece band
Let's get right into it.
in the 70s, it was me and another guy, the guy who'd actually taught me to play guitar in 7th grade, and in 9th grade rather, and we went through the whole rigmarole in college and came back to Long Island, and we played all around Long Island, and then it was 2 acoustic guitars, and we added a keyboard who played left-handed bass, and we stunk. You know, we played for 5 or 6 years, and we traveled around in a 1955 bright yellow Cadillac hearse, and got drunk and got laid and got stoned and had fun, but we weren't any
hearse?
good. You know,
What else is the point?
Never
I
got
don't want to
stopped.
ask my next question.
Never got stopped.
If
We had drugs and young girls and pot, and just never got stopped. It was like they wouldn't dare.
And you stopped doing this, why?
So we're in a three-piece band, and I'm telling my dirty jokes, and we're playing original songs, and we were very unique, which is a musical word for we weren't any good. And this is a true story. One night, I'm 31 years old, and we're making like $80 a night or $120. I mean, we're horrible.
Same pay now.
And
Yeah, it's not
nothing.
really-
We're getting paid. So one night after the show, the three of us, I tell people we were in the dressing room, but it was a bar, and we're actually in the room in the back where they keep the beer. And the other 2 guys in the band say, Jackie, we're going to leave the band and start our own band. And I said, listen, I'm not a rocket scientist, but if there's 3 of us in the band and 2 of us leave to start our own, that's throwing me out of the fucking band.
That's
right?
the polite way
Yeah.
of saying
And
we're.
so I said, all right. So I just started playing my guitar and singing my songs and trying to do my jokes on stage by myself. And that was, and now here we are.
Here we are.
I'm in another 3-piece band. At
what
least
I'm
I'm
saying.
smart enough to
I
not
got some
play.
bad news for you. Malcolm
Yeah,
and I are
listen,
gonna
Joe
start.
and I are going to start our own band. I'm trying to figure out how to tell you.
You can't. I didn't play terribly on the last song. I didn't hit one chord.
I know a lot of people. Do a lot of people know that you're a musician? I mean, you're a good musician. I have you. You sent me a copy of your CD, and it's great.
Well, you know what it is? I wrote a really, really wild, crazy song, and it's too long a story for your show. But I came up with this crazy idea while I was driving along, and I'd become very good friends with Les Paul,
Nice.
and Les Paul's guitar player, and Frank Vignola and me got very tight. Which is another musical expression for we smoke pot together. And I wrote this crazy song, and I called him up and said, listen, I don't know if I just wrote the world's best song or the world's worst song.
Could be both.
And it absolutely is. And he loved it, and he said we should record it. So here I get this incredible world-class guitar player, and we all get together and we start trying to make a song out of this thing. And I'm writing lyrics as we're going along, and it's just ridiculous. And he goes, Jesus Christ, this is so much fun. We should do some more. Do you have any other songs? I said, well, I got the songs that I wrote 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And so I dug them out, and those were those songs. And
Right.
so it's like Otto and George, Otto used to say, it's like putting whipped cream on dog shit. You know, when you got really incredible players, the songs.
No, but
sound-
a good song is a good song, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't
sure.
matter what you right. That's a good segue. You want to do one? Why don't you
Yeah,
do one
I
now?
would love to do one. I'll do one that has the pick, so I don't have to whip. You know what? Why don't we do a really gentle one?
Start off gentle. I like
And
that.
it's a Long Island song. It's a real Long Island song. And but my buddy's parents owned a bar, And it was so long ago that he played accordion in our band, okay? And the bar was at the end of the Oyster Bay line in Oyster Bay, and it's about the train, and it's fun. And it's D, and if you play D, you can't make a mistake.
Oh,
And there's
great.
other chords in there
I love
somewhere.
that.
Millneck, Locust Valley, Glen Cove, Glen Street, Seacliff, Glen Head, Greenfield, Roslyn, Albertson, East Wilson, and Mineola. Change at Jamaica. For see so nice, they named it twice. 2, 3. Waiting for the train, waiting for the train, waiting for the train to bring me home again. I'm waiting for the train to bring me home again. Waiting for the train to bring me home again. Mama, won't you come along? Mama, won't you come along? Everything seems like a celebration. E, why do I sit lonely in the railway station? Just when I'm feeling about as low as I can go, I hear that friendly whistle start to blow. Dance me around, mama, won't you dance me around? Here we go. Waiting for the train, waiting for the train, waiting for the train. I sit and wait, I sit and wait, I'm waiting for the train to bring me home again. Waiting for the train to bring me home again. Mama, won't you be mine along? Mama, won't you come along? Sitting on the bench, spending lots of time, holding down the fort at the end of the Oyster Bay line. Well, just when I'm feeling about as low as I can go, I hear the friendly whistle start to blow. Dance me around, mama, won't you dance me around? Count it. 2, 3, waiting for the train, waiting for the train, waiting for the train. I sit and wait, woo! I'm waiting for the train to bring me home again. Waiting for the train to bring me home again. Mama, won't you come along? Mama, won't you come along? Mosey on over to Ida's and grab a shot. She'll be having one with you as likely as Dot. That was my mother. Charlie's burning burgers and telling stale jokes. Eddie's upstairs to catch himself a few tokes. Dance me around, mama, won't you dance me? Drink another round. Come on, my mama, drink one. Dance me around, mama, won't you dance me around? For the last time, waiting for the train, waiting for the train, waiting for the train. I'm sitting one more time, waiting for the train to bring me home again. Waiting for the train to bring me home again. Mama, won't you come along? Mama, won't you come along? Here we go.
Yeah, very nice. I like that one.
Fun. Thanks, man. Oh, that's so
That
fun
is
to
a
play
truly
with.
Long Island song.
That
It's
is.
a Long Island song.
I felt
Kind
I
of
was
had like
on
a
the
Willie
LNR.
Nelson like feel to it. I
Yeah.
liked it. I thought it was cool.
Thank you. You're just trying to get my shorts, Sally.
What else
yeah,
is new,
yeah.
man?
So, can people buy the CD? Is it on iTunes? Is it...
It actually sold into the dozens. It's called Happy Endings. And, it sold some. Yeah, oh, on iTunes, of course,
And it's called Happy Endings,
It's
all right.
called Happy Endings. and
Richie
there's,
Canada's on it.
All right.
Richie's singing.
All
Richie's playing. In fact, I have one song that's not on it that Richie. There were times like I didn't get there in time sometimes, so those guys would just play and Richie would wail, and there's actually a couple songs that are just incredible. He plays on bed. The next song, you guys do some songs, but the next one I do, we'll do one that he plays on.
Well, speaking
And,
of Richie, right? So, Malcolm, you're in the Lord's 52nd Street
That's
with
true.
Richie Canada,
That's
right?
true, yeah.
So, how did you wind up getting involved in this project?
Yeah,
And-
where are you from originally?
I was born in Manhattan, lived in Brooklyn for a little bit, and then my family moved to northern Westchester to a town called Somers, which is near like Katona and Bedford, and
Nice.
about an hour like due north of Manhattan. And that's where I went to from grade school and high school.
How old are you? I'm scared to ask.
48.
Prick.
So can we all hear? Can we all hear? Can you hear all of us equally on the mics, or do we need to move the mics closer?
No, I'm
We're
playing.
Good, we're good? Okay.
I'm playing around. Yep.
So
We all good?
Malcolm was a little low, but
Yeah, I mean, I turned it
Tony
up.
just
I turned it
raised
up.
it,
I
and
got
it,
it.
it
I got
ended
it.
up being fine.
It'd be like that Will
There
Ferrell
you go.
character. Hello, hello, hello. Is this on? Hello, hello.
So you play what? You play just bass, guitar. I know you play. a lot of
Yeah, I mean,
instruments,
I
right?
started singing really early, and my mom is a guitar player and piano player. She's got a beautiful voice, and she got me started singing early. And then I started playing saxophone in grade school in 5th grade, and I did that up until 9th grade.
But was rock your intended?
No, I didn't really. I don't know. You know, I don't. I mean, I always listened to rock. Like I grew up on rock, and some jazz. My dad, Sinatra records and a few Stan Getz records.
It's
and
like you
stuff
put
that.
one foot in front of the other, and
Yeah,
you
it
never
was
know
just-
where you're going to wind
It's like
up
the
with
whole
it.
musical trail is you're in some ways is like you're just letting it lead you in a lot of ways. So then I started taking guitar lessons right before my freshman year in high school, and then some kids in high school came up to me and said, "Hey, we have a gig. We have a band. And we don't have a bass player. We have a gig at a house party in town. Do you want to borrow the bass from school and play the gig with us?"
By default, you became bass player. Like
Yeah,
Paul
like a lot of
McCartney,
bass players.
right? I mean, that's
So we
usually
did.
the best musician in the band, though, right?
Well, I mean,
Gotta be the most versatile.
In
one.
my
Yeah.
band, I was the lead singer because they couldn't harmonize.
There you go.
That's like
yeah.
whatever it takes.
LSD, lead singer disease.
So we played this house party, and it was just crazy. It was like I was like 13 years old, and there was just girls everywhere, and mayhem ensued, and I was just like, I'm definitely doing this.
That's the
another
magic
common
word.
story,
Yeah,
right?
I'm definitely doing this. Why would I
99%.
not want to do this?
99% of guys start playing guitar to meet women, and the other 1% are full of shit.
Yeah, exactly. I think Billy said something along those lines. Like any guy that tells you that he didn't start playing an instrument to meet girls is full of shit. Yeah.
Or money.
Or I don't know.
Oh, wait, well, that was
girls
just a
first.
side perk.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I guess so. But
Whoever,
yeah.
I don't know about you, but I would have never had the balls to think I would ever make any money doing it.
I bet
and
you-
I proved that.
I bet you George Michael didn't get into it to meet girls, though.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, there's that maybe
Probably
that
not.
could be
Elton John
1%,
probably
right?
didn't get
Probably,
in it
right.
to meet girls. Yeah, that's probably true.
So you,
So yeah, so
But other guys would think they were cool if they appealed to,
oh man, I didn't get any cred.
so to get laid, that's
Yeah.
okay.
That- yeah.
I didn't get any
Bigger
cred.
umbrella.
I was a little runt in high school, and I didn't really get any cred until I got into almost like a heavy metal band with kids that were like way older than me, like seniors, graduated already, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I wasn't getting picked on anymore. So
Right.
that was like another reason to keep going with it, because it was like finally something that like, I'm pretty good at and makes me like sort of cool. Yeah.
That's whatever, right? So
Yeah. So
So you got your own stuff too. I mean, we're
Yeah.
talking originals here. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
want to get into the Lords. I want to get
Yeah.
into, I know you've played with Sheryl Crow and some other really, and you won a Grammy. But
yeah.
let's talk
well,
about
I
your
played.
original.
I played on a record that won the Grammy. It wasn't like my
To
record.
me,
that won.
That's winning
Do you
a
get one?
Grammy.
Did you?
I got a certificate from the Grammy
I'll take
Association.
it. Yeah, that worked. That's good enough.
Give it to my mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's got it hanging up right in the wall.
She's got it
there.
hanging
That's
up
my
right
boy.
there. That's right.
I would just steal one and say,
I would,
Yeah.
right?
Nowadays, we just print one out.
Yeah,
right?
well, you probably could. So it's
a good idea.
What album did you play on for that?
Oh, I played. I used to tour and record with a reggae band called Morgan Heritage that's done really well, and they won Best Reggae Album of 2015.
Nice. Also, it was recent.
Yeah, it was recent.
Cool.
And yeah, I got an email from them. They're actually how I ended up working with India Ari too, was through them.
Nice.
And I hadn't heard from them since we did that in Atlanta, and then I got an email from them saying,
how did you wind up in a reggae band?
I got into reggae music. I got into back when I first moved back into the city to try and really, I went to Berkeley College of Music for 2 years, and then I grew up in and around New York, so it made sense. My family was only an hour away, so I just moved into the city and just started looking for any gig I could get, answering ads in the back of the Village Voice. And there was an ad in the back of the Village Voice that said, well-known reggae band seeks 5-string bass player. And at the time, this bass was the only bass I played, which is a 5-string, right? So I auditioned, and I just started getting into, like, Rastafarianism and, like, more spiritual kind of stuff. And I answered the ad, and I went out to their house, and they were a Jamaican American family. Their brother had left the band. That's why they were looking for. It was like a Jamaican.
Wow.
It was like a reggae Jackson 5 almost.
Nice.
And
It's a weird spot to step into,
yeah, it was great.
but cool.
But I literally went out to their house in Bushwick and walked into everything that I had been trying to expose myself to for like the last 6 months.
Right.
You know? And stuff I had slowly been sort of getting into, and then all of a sudden I was in it. And then 2 weeks later, I was in West Africa with them. Was my first gig.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Yeah, we did a
Whoa.
we did a 2-week tour of West Africa. And,
Typical musician story, right?
I bet you
I'm going to
playing
West Africa
bass,
tomorrow.
reggae bass. I bet you that would be really fun and great.
it's a lot of fun.
You know,
yeah.
it's different. I bet.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just, it's like what we were saying before about how you just let stuff lead you, and it was the right thing for me, and it felt really good, and
What's the name of that album? And we'll give them a free.
it's called Strictly Roots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grammy Award-winning album.
Yeah,
Strictly
best
Roots.
reggae album.
Nice. Let's talk your original stuff though, because I want to
Okay.
get that out there
Yeah.
too. You know, I know.
Yeah,
that
that's
you,
cool. It's just stuff that I've done occasionally. Just do some over the years, just to flex a different muscle, like record some stuff, do some gigs of my own, just doing with just musician friends. We just like put together like an hour set, and
Right.
I recorded some of these tunes. I got a call from a producer friend of mine who said, "Hey, we're producing this young artist, and we don't really have a budget, but." This great keyboard player named Clifford Carter was co-producing it, who was like James Taylor's MD for a long time. He's
Okay.
like one of the best musicians I've ever met in
Yeah.
my life. Anyway, so he called me up and said, "We don't have a budget, but if you play on her record, we'll produce 3 songs of yours,
Oh.
and I'll play on them." And,
Sure.
That's
and all
nice.
this.
Yeah.
So it was like
That's-
total barter,
Right.
and so I got 3 songs of mine recorded like, first
Top of
class.
the line,
yeah.
right.
And it's on your website, right?
It's on my 2 of them are on my website. Yeah,
malcolmgold.com.
yeah, and
Say that again. What is it?
it's MalcolmGoldMusic.com.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, there you go.
GOLD?
MalcolmGold Music.com.
And you could do one of these just with you and a bass, which is
Sure,
not
yeah, it's
common.
a lot. It's a lot of a lot of how I write is just like chordal bass and
Right.
vocal and stuff like that. And then when we recorded it full band, we just got into a room and everybody just added.
But we're gonna get a stripped down version with
Sure.
just you on bass. We're
Yeah.
gonna watch. I'm not gonna.
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, all right.
Turn everybody's mics off, so it'll just be
You're
him.
freaking good, man.
Hey, man.
Tony, not his
mess
first
around, dude.
rodeo.
It's all him.
Yeah. So, well, I guess we'll get into the story of how I hooked up with Richie and the rest of the dudes.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. We got a special 2-hour show today.
Oh, that's right.
So we got plenty of time to get into all that. We
Cool.
got plenty of time to hear all of Jackie's stories.
Might have to leave to go operate.
Got a surgery scheduled?
I just want to impress people. The music thing didn't work. Amateur gynecology.
Can we find some of those jokes in this book?
Oh, God. Hey, yeah, I'm not plugging my joke book. I'm here to plug The Joke Man Batter Stern. That's my autobiography.
Oh, okay. So,
No
but
more-
that is a book, not
yeah.
this one though.
Yeah, that's a good one, too, but that's
This was a
filthy.
good one.
Don't
My daughter
plug,
caught this, by the
Don't
way.
plug dirty joke books before Malcolm plays his heartfelt whatever.
No,
it is.
no. There's really no bad time for dirty joke books.
Please.
Cool. So this song's called Open Letter. Now when the show is over and the people have gone home and the big man counts his dollar inside a burning room and the fear has all been spoken and the sheep have all been fed and lack of love and kindness has got the shepherd seeing red, yeah. So a string of pearls is offered, another conscience is erased, and a million souls are sacrificed so someone else can taste, yeah. And the river's flowing, yeah, the water runs, and the peace in your valley outweighs the weight of your gun. And the crumbling skyline is a lesson to us all. Sometimes the axe that you're bearing might cause your own trees to fall. in the reflection of the water, you see their smile disappear. And what you thought was knowledge is instantly replaced by fear. And when the old man comes a-running to the arrogance of youth, you know the fact that he's retreating will carry the evidence of proof. And the river's flowing, yeah, the water runs, and the peace in your valley outweighs the weight of your gun. And the crumbling skyline is a lesson to us all. Sometimes the axe that you're burying might cause your own trees to fall. And once it's started, baby, don't see how you'll find your way free. There's a forest underwater, and it keeps us out from seeing the trees. Well, now some may call it genius, and some may call it truth, and some may say that arrogance has gone right through the roof, yeah. But I say love is patience, and I say love won't die. So put your faith inside of your own love. Sit back and dig the ride, yeah. And the river's flowing, yeah, the water runs, and the peace in your valley outweighs the weight of your gun. And the crumbling skyline is a lesson to us all. Sometimes the axe that you're burying might cause your own trees to fall. Yeah, sometimes the axe that you're burying might cause your own trees to fall. Yeah, sometimes the axe that you're burying,
Yeah.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
Wow.
That was awesome, man.
It was
I-
John Hyatt like.
Okay, cool.
you know,
And
it's-
but the playing reminded me of Lindsey Buckingham actually.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, you don't see that often at all with somebody who's, with
Never
a
saw
bass,
that
and it
before.
sounded
Wow.
full and freaking great.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
That's-
Thanks.
that was
super.
highly impressed. Hey, let's take a minute for our sponsor.
I don't think I have my mic on.
Oh. How about now? Is it on now? Are we good now?
Yeah, she
So,
has to
Good
speak.
now.
Getting a lot of likes on that, Malcolm. A lot of hearts. A lot
Oh,
of
great.
yeah.
Cool.
All right, well, she's looking for that. You remember the Spin Doctors, right?
Sure.
Mark White of the Spin Doctors is watching.
Hi, Mark.
Settle
Mark
a bet
White.
with us. Mark, yeah, he's watching. He's a bass player for the Spin Doctors.
He's a fantastic bass player.
Oh, super bass player.
Yeah.
But settle a bet, because I always fight with him. He tells me he plays with his pinky. You know,
On this end?
yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. No, you got to back me up here.
I believe it. I mean, I couldn't
never
tell you
done
how
it,
to
With,
do
right?
that.
with Justice
I've-
Pinky?
I mean, Entwistle played with these three.
He did the
right?
three, right.
And Victor Wooten's all over that shit
Oh,
with like
sure.
every finger.
Are
And
you
he's
talking
also
about onlys? Not
No.
onlys.
He says he plucks with his pinky.
yeah, I'm sure he does.
I don't believe him. I think he's full of it.
Why would he
Well,
lie about
Because he'll do that. He'll mess with me.
Yeah, he actually sent us a video, and it was all
Yeah, but-
all of the pinky, and then all he sings the whole entire time is at Tony 4 4 4 4.
Right. He wasn't playing a song.
It
he
was
was
so
just. It was just
funny.
like he was
Oh,
like
he came
bing,
in?
bing, bing. What?
that? He was
came
proving
in?
it.
He was in with us
Mark,
a couple weeks ago.
But he's in Texas.
Now
right?
he's.
in
I believe he's
Texas,
back in
But he's
Houston.
up there.
yeah.
I mean, I do some gigs with Aaron, the drummer,
Oh, yeah.
from time to time, and I know that those guys are still going strong. They're still
I'll tell you,
going.
they sound better. We saw them about 6 months ago. They sounded better than ever.
Yeah, I
those
believe
Guys.
it.
It's the four original
they're all,
guys.
They're all
and-
just great musicians.
Is there a better
absolutely.
intro than Two Princes?
That drum
intro?
the drum
Is there a
solo?
better freaking intro than that
And
song?
the other, it's like you know exactly what song
That's
that is
it.
the second that you hear that.
Right,
intro.
right,
Yeah,
right, right.
Yeah.
Sally, let's do it.
This week, we are excited to have a great sponsor for the show, Main Street Financial Group. They are an independent financial service firm located right in Kings Park. No matter who you are, it is worth giving these guys a call. They really care about their clients and are experts in retirement planning, investing, insurance, and they can help anyone with their financial situation. They provide the average Long Islander with financial planning and guidance, usually reserved for the ultra wealthy. Give them a call at 631-269-2300 or visit www.msfg.info. Mention J.A.M. and receive a complimentary meeting to review your personal finances.
They're going to sponsor this trivia question right now, too. They're going to give away a free T-shirt to the person who answers this question right.
Okay, good, because Sandy's watching.
Oh, boy. Anybody but Sandy can win. You guys feel free to, So the question is, in 1969, on this date, Mary Ann Faithfull attempted suicide. And when she awoke from her coma, she told her friends something which led the Rolling Stones to write this song.
Oh.
So
you want to know what she said and the song?
Well, you can answer just the song would be good enough, and then I'll say what she said.
Say it one more time.
Okay, 1969, this date, 1969, Mary Ann Faithfull attempts suicide. When she awakes from her coma, she tells her friends, she says something to her friends, and the Rolling Stones write a song about what she said to her friends after she awoke from her coma. And what was that song that they wrote?
This was 1969?
1969.
I could take a guess, but I don't think I really know.
Well, while everybody's Googling it, why don't we give another song to Jackie?
Yeah, Jackie.
Why don't you haven't done one of your songs yet?
I'm here every week.
I hate this
I'm here all
because I
week.
know I
The people do want to
lived
hear your
that.
stuff.
I lived and heard that and knew that, and I just, Jesus Christ, I
It's a guy.
Liberty would know the answer to that question. He knows all that shit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he knows like all that music.
Well, if he was
trivia.
watching, he could win a free T-shirt.
Yeah, Lib.
But
Main
do
Street
a song,
Financial.
because
Let's-
there's like a 2-minute delay.
There is, so we're gonna-
So
so
while
let's-
you do a song, people can write in.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
how we do it.
Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
Let's do another one, Jack.
okay. You sure?
Yeah, man.
Glutton for punishment. So in 1971, I was traveling with my friend Butch, who's two of my friends growing up. Their father was a championship jockey, won the Triple Crown. And their father was about 4 feet tall, and he hated my guts. But they were great guys, and Butch was driving me back to college, and he said, "I'll drive, you play." And I said, okay. So we started drinking, and I started playing, and I figured I really should write a song. So I wrote a song, and then rewrote it in 1980. So this is the new lyrics, the 40-year-old lyrics. And
This one's Butch's song?
this is Will Butch's song, and we should probably do it in E. And it couldn't be simpler. Waiting for the Amtrak in the city of brotherly love. Well, my shows are good as they're ever gonna get, but I just can't get enough. You know, the more they laugh and clap, it seems, the less that I can hear. Another day, another joke. What happened to last year? Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Again. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Well, the road, she always called me the artistic, romantic life. Not the home and the family, a few kids, maybe a wife. Well, now normal's just a dream to me, and talent is a curse. The stage, she's the best, but she's the worst. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. To the middle. I'm gonna pull into McDonald's, find a place online, order a billion burgers, sit and watch them change the sign. New York to Denver, hey, Detroit was in between. Happy maybe half the time, really, really clean. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Well, now I'm tight with Rodney, yeah. Now I'm cutting loose. Well, now I'm catching on. After all those years and all that juice, well, I ain't saying for sure I'm gonna make it, but now I got a chance. Lady Luck was eluding me, but now I'm in her pants. Oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Well, I'm gonna pull into a Burger King, the highlight of my day. I might have ordered myself a Whopper, but I'm gonna have it my own way. New York to LA, hey, Detroit was in between. Happy maybe half the time, really, really clean. Twice more. Happy maybe half the time, living in a dream. Happy maybe half the time and lonely. In between. Me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh, my. Me oh, me oh. Me oh, me oh, me oh, my.
That's a great sing-along melody
Thank you.
that I was just, screwing up for you. So
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
that's,
That was cool.
that's
Very
a cool,
flattering.
very, very cool
When's the
song.
last time you performed your music in public?
You know, I did the first year or two I did comedy. I always played a song at the end.
Right.
And it was funny because when we first got going, we were all in the same gang. And Eddie Murphy was part of the gang, Bob Nelson, Rob Bartlett, there was a bunch of us.
Yeah.
At the end of every show, and it was usually 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever hunk of the gang would play gigs. And I always went last because I was loud and filthy, and I always ended my show with a song. And sometimes the guys would get up and we do "You Are My Sunshine," we drunken fun. And not Eddie. Eddie didn't drink, but Bob Nelson was always the life of the party, but he never had a sip either. But I'd always end with this song, like that song, or there was like 3 or 4, a bunch of different ones, and I'd play one. And one night I got done with my set, and I came off stage, and Eddie Murphy came over to me, and said, Jack, I got like 5 favorite songs, and 3 of them are yours. And for the life of me, I can't get a message to him to ask him if he remembers it. Because if you were a kid and you heard a song that you liked, 1,000 years later, you still remember the song.
Absolutely.
But whatever.
Yep.
But
And
so
was that one of them?
Eventually, I would have my guitar on stage, but I'd tell so many jokes, I wouldn't get to the guitar, and people would think I was shortchanging the show. So then I said, stop
So
bringing it.
people were expecting the guitar?
Well, they saw it there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
okay.
certainly weren't expecting it or even wanting it. Because I'd do an hour's worth of discussing jokes and then play a really nice love song, and it'd be like, what the
Yeah.
That's what you bring everybody every emotion. That's what,
I loved it. I really loved it. And it was fun. And then I did a one-man show for a while. I did it for 2 months here, 2 months, to no avail. And but it was funny. I decided to break it out again, and I did the Bolton Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so I brought my guitar, and I figured I'll tell some jokes, play guitar. So I played the guitar, maybe 2 or 3 songs, and then I started telling jokes. And I'm doing fine, And then I told a joke, and they didn't laugh that hard. And I said, you better laugh, or I'll play another
Right.
song.
Or the
And
guitar comes back.
And the house came down. I was like, no, anything. So that was
Hey, what-
probably the last time.
What was Eddie Murphy like back then? Was he a killer back then? Like, did you guys know? Was it
I did-
obvious that he was going to blow up?
I
or?
didn't know him that well. He was around, but he didn't say he was so cocky from the word go, but he just knew he was that good,
Right.
I mean, way back at Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn, he'd be walking around and say, "You guys, I'm going to be bigger than the Beatles," and we'd like, "Shut the,"
Right.
And meanwhile, 3 years later,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing my second album at the East Side Comedy Club. I was recording an album called Going Ape, and I had the microphones hanging, and everybody knew I had a record out. And Eddie came up to me and said, "Jack, you doing another album?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I want to have an album." I said,
Oh, you
"Sorry,
should've
Eddie, I'm too busy."
You should have talked him out of that album.
Yeah.
What was that song that he had in the 80s? That was just
Oh, party all the time.
right.
Yeah. He had a comedy. I was.
That was bad.
He was.
I still have those
He went to the
records.
moon. He just went.
Yeah.
Went to the
Oh,
moon.
yeah.
Richie from the comic strip, who's is still a very dear friend.
Well, I mean, his stand-up,
mother.
you know, that HBO special, and then like around the same
Delirious?
time,
Oh, man.
he sings this awful song. And I don't
He
know.
had a worse song, a comedy song that was on either like Raw or Delirious,
butt?
Boogie in your butt.
In your
Yeah.
butt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like, really, dude.
And then
But
him-
all right. I mean,
him
whatever.
and-
They
him
can't
and
all
Joe
be gems.
Hey,
Piscopo.
cashing in.
Yeah, they
cashing
can't
in,
all be
you
gems, you know.
Comedians, can,
Yeah.
you know.
then
Remember,
him and
I remember
Piscopo
Steve
did-
Martin went on.
Oh, they did the
Tonight Show.
Sinatra.
And the Honeymooners rap. Remember that?
Oh no, I haven't heard that one.
Oh yeah,
the
him and
Honeymooners
Piscopo.
rap.
Honey-
Okay.
Yeah, Piscopo was Ralph and Eddie was,
Right,
was
right, right.
Norton. Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah,
I'll-
he did
I'll
a
find it.
he did a fantastic Norton. His Norton was like spot on. Man.
So I'm looking, and I'm sorry, I'm just watching the
cool.
comments and everything, and nobody's gotten this trivia question.
Oh,
No
okay.
one's gotten it right yet.
Nobody's gotten it
And,
right
you,
yet.
and you know what else are commenting?
No-
can
Nobody
I
wants to
can I
take
take a
t-shirt.
guess?
I'm
But
trying to
I could be
figure
way
this.
off.
It's
Take a guess.
1969. So what Stones album are we on? We're not on Sticky Fingers.
Yeah,
yet,
that's
right?
true. I was gonna guess Ruby Tuesday, but it's probably
That's
too
what I was
early.
gonna say,
That's,
too.
yeah,
It's
that
too
is-
early
that's
for that.
too early,
It's
yeah.
69 was what? Let It Bleed. I think 69 was Let It Bleed.
Yeah.
So said, give me.
Nobody wants
It's
to
not Give Me Shelter.
I'm gonna let it keep. Should I ask it again? Or
No.
Everybody's got the question.
When people
now.
hear Marianne Faithful, they think of it as Tears Go By because she covered that.
right, but
She had a big hit with that.
Yeah.
That is not the correct
Yeah,
answer.
that's not the one.
How about a hint? Is there a non-giveaway hint possible?
Probably. I don't know.
Not that
We're not there
country
yet. We're
bumpkin
not there yet.
song.
They had a few of those.
What,
What do you think? Wild Horses?
that's.
That's-
I think that's later.
That's
That-
it.
and
He wins a T-shirt.
Is it
I'm
Wild
getting you a
Horses?
T-shirt.
That's the
Yep. When she woke up, she said "Wild Horses couldn't drag me away" to her friends, and then they wrote "Wild Horses."
Okay.
So
Wow,
sorry,
so I
sorry,
really
friends
want a
at home.
T-shirt, huh?
You
You
get
want a
T-shirt.
free T-shirt?
I feel like
You
we
gotta
should
me
give
a
it to
size.
somebody though.
Well, Malcolm's donating his.
Yeah,
his
somebody
t-shirt,
can have my
His
T-shirt.
Main Street Financial T-shirt. So we'll. I don't know. Maybe we'll.
Because I wasn't really taking a guess. I was just kind of. I always thought, what's the song that Graham Parsons wrote that the Stones did? I always thought that was Wild Horses, but I guess not. There's a couple. You know, Graham Parsons from the International Submarine Band.
Yeah,
and he did his,
Keith Richards and him.
Yeah, they were
buddies.
tight, yeah.
I should probably have a disclaimer that I just find these things on the internet and I never really confirm them.
whether they're true or
So
not.
I will.
Well, it's on the internet.
All right, it's got to be true.
Here's the Honeymooners rap for you.
All right.
This
Should I
is-
put the headphones on?
Yes,
to hear-
if you want
This
to hear
is
it.
Joe
yeah.
Piscopo and Eddie Murphy.
Joe
Honeymooners.
Piscopo and Eddie Murphy as Norton and Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I figured
remember
you
this.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mark,
I'm
did you guess
watching
that?
you,
Mark,
Lord.
did you say that?
What's that?
Mark White said he got it right.
I believe him.
No, Mark White's guess was Afternoon Delight. He did not get it right.
Isn't that what you had with Mark?
It's true.
I did.
In the back of my car.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. All right, there you go.
All right. Well, thanks for that.
Thanks for finding that, Tony.
Way to bring the show to a crashing halt.
We were talking about it, so it fit.
All right. So anyway,
invited
I'll
that
tell
guy.
you guys a great musician, Joe.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a combo playing, and a bunch of mobsters walk into the bar, and one of the mobsters walks up to the band leader and says, "The Godfather wants to sing. Can you do Strangers in the Night in 5/4 time?" And he goes, "Yeah, I guess, sure." He says, "All right." So they start playing Strangers in the Night, and the Godfather comes up to sing, and he goes, "Strangers in the fucking night."
that's why they need it in 5/4. Makes sense now.
Makes all the
That's
sense.
funny.
Makes all the sense.
So let's talk about this bass.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Let's-
Let's talk about.
let's talk about the
we've-
Lords, right?
We've named this bass Big Blue. That's what we call this bass. This was
Can,
Doug's.
can people
Doug-
get a good view of this? Is this?
I don't know where the camera is.
Right
I
here.
don't know.
This the taller one of the two right here.
Okay, so yeah, so this is Doug Stegmeyer's bass. He has two basses. It's like a late '60s Fender Telecaster bass that he put two for those of you who know bass lingo, put two, I would imagine they got to be pretty old Fender P-bass pickups in. Telecaster basses either had like a humbucker or an old one pickup, like an old P-bass. And so he has two basses like this. One's called Blondie, and that was the bass that played on the majority of all the classic records. And this was another one. They're both basically the same bass. Same.
Did he use that?
He used
during
this
any of
on the
recording?
Bridge tour.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. We should probably prep. Doug Stegmeyer, obviously, bass player.
Original
for Billy
bass
Joel,
player for Billy Joel. Yeah.
played on all the hit records. And now Malcolm is playing, touring with the Lords of 52nd Street, Liberty DeVito, Richie Cannata, Russell Javers, all, again, original Billy Joel members played on the hits. Doug Stegmeyer, unfortunately, passed away, so they needed to find somebody who could fill his shoes, and Mr. Malcolm stepped in, and they kindly, this was from Doug's
he
estate,
left this. He left this to Lib, yeah.
Oh,
and
wow,
so
okay.
Lib, it's on loan to me from Lib.
Nice.
And
it's like having a piece of him on stage with you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, man. To have grown up on those records and really have them mean a lot, and really be able to recognize the musicianship early and continue to recognize the musicianship, and then to have to know the parts. Part of the reason how I hooked up with Richie and these guys was I started working on a show called Moving Out, which was the Broadway.
So you worked on Moving Out,
yeah.
right? I was going to ask you about that too.
And so that's when it was really not until then that I really started digging into the bass parts for the show.
Right.
And then playing them over the years, but then
But the guitar already knew the songs.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
You don't even
it's
do
true,
anything.
though.
You just put it on.
Well, that's kind of where I was going when Doug's sister is her name is Susan, and the first gig that we did, the first official Lords gig that we did, she came with her husband Kevin. They're both really, really great people, and they brought Blondie, which is this bass except it's blonde.
And that was the
That's the
precise
bass
one that
that's
they
on
played.
everything.
Now, they brought it so that you could play it at
Yeah,
the
and
gig?
I did. I played
wow.
it at the gig, and I think we did The Stranger at Soundcheck, and there's the beginning where it's just piano and bass, where it's just
Right.
right, and that first note, I'm not making up, like the hair actually stood up on the back of my
That's
neck.
amazing.
It was just like, holy shit, that's the sound on the record, like that. It was amazing.
It's because he's not Billy. You don't think bass when you hear Billy Joel, but
Well,
if
you
you
know-
listen to his bass lines, they're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, the thing about that music is it's so good, and all of them being such a tight band together.
Yeah.
It's so cohesive that you don't. It's like the sum of all the parts.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Now,
know
when
what I
you
mean?
were dissecting it, you
Yeah.
know, which ones really stood out to you? This was a
Well,
question I really
Stranger.
wanted to. Right. And if you could play some so that people
Sure.
can actually, since
The
you really don't hear it isolated ever.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. So The Stranger has that line that do 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 do.
Right.
And then it comes in
Comes
again,
right back up that half step.
and then it kicks in with the groove, and that I've always loved that bass line because it's so. The thing about all those guys, man, is they were all in a band together, and Doug is the one who first hooked up with Billy.
Right, he was.
And he's the guy who brought everybody in.
Right.
And the story that I heard is when Billy was really the first piece of the puzzle after Doug was he really wanted to find the drummer. And Doug had played with Lib, and the story that I heard is he said, "I've got the guy. I guarantee he's the guy. If you don't hire him, you can fire me."
Oh, okay.
Is what he said. And
Who did Lib tell you the story?
Wow.
yeah. Oh no, actually I think Russell might have told me that
Okay.
story. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, so but the thing about all those guys, that band was called Topper, and on a couple of road trips they played me some old demos. And the thing is, all those guys are like 20 years old, 19 years old when Topper was together, pre-Billy. And that shit is killing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like all of them are killing.
Yeah,
it.
Russell
Yeah.
plays me a few. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good
it's
stuff.
like all
really
of it is just musicianship that could easily just be a record.
Right.
You know, and on the radio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so the whole thing is just, you know, I've always said that like something like that is like one in a million lifetimes, and
Perfect match because as soon as they
it's like
kicked in,
right time, right talent,
Right.
right people together. It's
Right.
even like not even music, like Seinfeld, for example, Breaking Bad,
Right.
same shit. Great writers, great actors, great
Lightning in a
story.
bottle kind of thing.
Lightning in a bottle,
Right.
you know. And so The Stranger, when it kicks in, is a great bass line because it's funky as hell, but you don't really notice it, right? So then it's
You
like,
hear
it's
that
like
those guitars. That's it.
so will we all fall in love? Oh, we love to try them on, right?
It's great.
Right.
Wow.
And you don't,
Very cool.
you know, it
Yeah.
wasn't until I sat down to learn it for the show that I was like, damn, that's funky as hell.
Right. So now, how
You know
did you
what I
go about doing that? Did you just listen to the records and try to turn? You know?
Yeah, I mean, and there, I started working on Moving Out. I was subbing for a bass player from Long Island. You guys might know him, Greg Smith. He was doing the Broadway show. He was with Alice Cooper for a long time, and so it was already established. The show was already established, and I came in early before they started subbing out, and I was one of the first bass subs. And then I ended up being the musical director for the tour when they put the tour together.
Oh wow.
So.
Any chance of that coming back, or have you heard anything? Or
I don't think so. Although I just saw on TV tonight that they're bringing Rock of Ages back. So if they're bringing that shit back, anything's possible.
Right.
Yeah. So that was really when I started digging into that stuff and really checking it out and just being like, wow, it's just.
But how'd you cross wires with those guys?
I was.
Were they weren't connected
with
to
the
that
Lords.
show.
With the Lords?
Yeah.
I started when Moving Out ended. I got a call from John Scarpulo, who was a great sax player who was playing on the show on Moving Out. Right. And he said, hey, man, a bunch of us play with this guy, Mike Del Giudice, in this band called Big Shot. It's a Billy Joel tribute band. And the bass player, we need a sub. He doesn't usually sub out, but we need somebody. Right. So I started doing it, and it was really like 4 times a year, maybe something like that. But Richie would do shows with them as like a featured guest, and so I got to know Richie. He and I had met a long time ago before then, but that's how we really started to get to know each other. And then we had this great talk outside of the Bitter End one night, and we just started talking about Doug, and we started talking about
like after his jam down there.
Yeah, or maybe
Monday
I think it
night
was
thing?
before.
Right.
I think I might have been playing earlier, and we were just talking. He had time before the jam started. And we just kind of connected, and we both were kind of on the same page. But at the time, I just thought it was just a cool moment that we had just had. And then about a month later, I bumped into him again, and he was like, "Hey, man, are you around? Because we're doing something that I think you'd be good for." Wow. And it was like another year before it happened.
Did you guys have to do a lot of rehearsing for it, or
no?
Just
we got together out here in Long Island. And we did some rehearsing at the beginning, but everybody who was involved knew those songs so well.
Right.
Not even the 3 of them, like just everybody else who's in the band.
Yeah,
I've been playing those songs for so long.
Sure.
And so now it's like now we've been doing this, steady for 2 or 3 years, and it's just like
Great reception.
And it's just
Dave Clark, right?
Dave Clark, yeah. Dennis Delgadio's playing guitar. Great keyboard player named Doug Kistner.
Okay.
And it's just a well-oiled machine, and it just it's a lot of fun to do. But people really seem to be really digging on it.
Yeah,
it's pretty,
especially on Long Island.
Yeah,
those guys are
Yeah, but even we've been out to Florida, we've been out to the West Coast, and it's just amazing how great of a catalog that is, but also how everyone knows how great of a catalog it is.
Well, speaking of, you were talking about The Stranger before.
Yeah.
You do one of the songs from The Stranger on bass, right? You were telling me that you do
Vienna.
Yeah. You want to try to do that?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
People want to hear music. And then
Sure.
after that, we're going to get to another... one of
People
your
are
originals.
asking for originals from you, pal.
Yeah, man, do
Yeah,
it.
what are you
It's on
doing?
there.
Yeah,
Do it.
I don't do
We're putting the
anything.
pressure on Joe.
I'm
You
a
shouldn't sit
host.
in the dark.
Give the
No,
people
no.
what they
I'm a
want.
shitty host.
We'll get one out of them. We're going to get one out of them.
The whole
Also,
thing
Ron
is to
Barber.
share alike.
Ron
right.
Barber points out that Jackie is starring in Buds this fall. The Jackie the Joke Man, Martlin rules.
Somebody posted before something about a song called Cold Gold. Is that one of yours? Somebody requested that before.
Can we do that?
Nah, that's too crazy. It's the beer
Why don't you
song.
just do it by if it's too
Yeah,
crazy
I-
to follow? Oh, I got you.
I'll play a
Yeah.
verse of it, which will demonstrate why. I
Record
can't
key,
do it.
right?
Yeah,
Like
B flat.
B
right?
flat, yeah.
Do that intro. I'm going to lay out for the intro.
let's dedicate this to Doug.
Beautiful. Great.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in the day. Hey, hey, hey. But you know that when the truth is told, you can get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although you're so romantic on the borderline tonight. And too bad, but it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself, you forgot what you need. Though you can see when you're wrong, you know you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You got your passion, you got your pride. But don't you know that only fools are satisfied? And dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? You wanna take one?
No way.
To the E flat, right?
Okay.
And slow down, you crazy child, and take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can't afford to lose a day or two. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? One more time. And you know that when the truth is told, you can get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? When will you realize Vienna waits for you?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
So great.
That was so good. You got a
So
great
great.
voice. Do they know what? Do they ever let you sing lead on anything?
You know, we did that for a little while. We did it as sort of as a tribute to Doug, where I just did the first verse solo, and then we all started as a band, right?
Oh,
And
cool.
then Dave took over from there.
Because I mean, I tell every week I say this to people. It's so hard to sing in this setting like this, where you're cramped. You're in a small studio, especially notes that are, that's a high song to sing. And you
Yeah, it's a
freaking
hard
killed
song.
it.
Oh,
So
thanks, man.
great.
Very
So great.
amazing.
Thanks.
So
Actually,
you
the
follow that.
In
I'm not going.
ninth grade, when the Sonics first started playing at the village school dances in Syosset on Convent Road, there was a band called the Takers that were like kind of our competition in Syosset, and I think it was Doug's older brother. Was his older brother Al?
I believe so.
Was
Yeah.
young- yeah. Al Stegmeyer was the lead guitar player.
Yeah. Cool.
So, and that's kind of a weird last name. So when I heard Doug Stegmeyer, I said,
Yeah, they're
I've
from
heard that last,
Syosset.
I've
Yeah.
heard that
Yeah.
last name before.
Well, you know Richie, right? Because he played on your album.
Yeah,
So-
Richie, billions of years ago, owned Fern's Harness Shop, and they did comedy for a while. I think I knew him before. You know, it's so long ago. But that was when comedy first started, so early 80s. But I've known him forever, you know. He's a good character.
Yeah, no
Real good
doubt.
character.
So what did he play? Did he play on your album?
He played he played some leads on, I think 2 songs, maybe 3 songs. I'm not sure. And, you know, it was great fun, you know.
Yeah.
I know that we have, we had requests, but you don't want to do the requests that you had.
It's
right?
because it's a finger picking song, and I haven't finger picked in a million. But it goes, cold gold makes you old way before your time. Cold gold makes you sleep right through your prime. Now whiskey is for celebrating. Beer just gives you body weight and comes out of your ears before you're drunk. Drink it by the 6-pack, glug it by the quart, guzzle it by the gallon till you start to snore and snort and got a belly like you're pregnant. To get a woman, you gotta beg, and she won't be much to look at anyway. 12 ounces, 16 ounces, 32 or more. Just keep on pumping right on down that hole that's in your jaw until you spend your last nickel. Your mind is really pickled, and it's time that we head for the bar. Well, I can't walk, but you better drive, 'cause I can't see. Somehow we always seem to reach that mahogany, so won't you set 'em up? Don't let it up till we hiccup and can't get it up, and we all commence to singing this here song. Cold gold makes you old way before your time. Cold gold makes you sleep right through your prime. I said that whiskey is for celebrating. Beer just gives you body weight and comes out of your ears before you comes out of your ears. Comes out of your ears before you're knocked down, stoned out, cold, cold, drunk. I have not sang that.
That was great. That
It was great, though.
That's what it's all
If
about.
I had stopped to think,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I was paying no
Get
attention.
a request, you do it, and that's it.
That's it.
That was great. That was.
Or,
What are you talking about?
You get a request, just like for your originals. You get a request and you just
I don't
do
get any
it.
request.
do
Well,
it.
we were going to read our sponsors now. It's 9:03, so it's sponsor time. And then we're going to do another trivia question, and then we're going to keep on going.
I'm gonna get you.
We want to thank Main Street Financial Group for being our sponsor this week. If you have questions about your retirement investment or insurance, please call Main Street Financial Group at 631-269-2300 or visit their website at www.msfg.info. That's msfg.info. You can also find them on Facebook. When you call 631-269-2300, mention J.A.M. and receive a complimentary meeting to review your personal finances.
Nice.
Hey.
Your story with how you met Les Paul, right? You didn't know he knew you. Is that correct? Didn't he call you up on stage one night or something? Do I have that right?
It was a storybook. This guy, this publicist, had been trying to get me and Fred Norris from the Stern Show to go see Les Paul for years, like 10 years. You got to see this guy. He would love you. He would love you. He would love you. He never threw in that he knew who we were, you know. And I didn't know. I knew, of course, of Les Paul, but I wasn't a guitar aficionado or anything. And so finally, Carrie Ash from, you know, the Sam Ash Music Store, she was married to Sam, the grandson, and she said, listen, you're going to see Les Paul tonight, and if you're not coming, I'm going to come to your apartment and drag you. So she picks us up in the limo, and we drive 2 blocks to, it was at Marlowe's at that time, and the Iridium was downstairs on 63rd Street.
Love the Iridium.
And we go in,
Yeah, it
and
is.
we have these great seats. She says, you got to come because the Rolling Stones are going to be there, blah, 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 blah. Like, all right, so we go in, and we're sitting up against the wall in this little tiny jammed-in place, and my friend Adam is leading Les down the aisle, and I hear him say to Adam, "Jackie the Joke Man's here," and how? It's his 85th birthday is the reason we're there, and I'm like, how the fuck? But it turns out, old people don't sleep. They sleep in snatches. You know, they sleep for an hour, sleep for 20 minutes. So the Stern Show was a godsend,
Yeah.
and I didn't know at the time he was a dirty, dirty bird.
Yeah,
He loved filthy jokes. He loved me getting up and doing those dirty jokes. And so we're sitting there, and Keith Richards is there with his mother and his stepfather, and you know, and it's you don't want to tell the whole
Well,
story.
Oh, okay. whatever you want. I just
But because it's
I just thought it was a cool story.
I
How
mean,
we
it's
knew
only
you.
it's only Les Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's such a it's so
know it now,
self-aggrandizing, but it was
No,
the
go
greatest
ahead, man.
night of my
It's a
life.
story.
So we're sitting there, and I hear him. I say my name, and I can't believe that. So he goes up there and he plays his first couple songs, and he goes, "Jackie the Joke Man's here. Where are you, Jackie the Joke Man? Come up here." So I don't, and I'm still drinking. This is the year 2000. I quit drinking like the next year, and so I'm 2 or 3 beers in. I'm just right. You know, like for me, 2 or 3 beers is just right. And I came up on stage, and I don't know if you ever had this experience, but my father had passed away a long time ago, but he was my father. The very thinning red hair and the thick glasses and the twinkle in his eye, and he was arthritic and a little slight guy. And I walked up and I looked at him, and you know, I'm not one of these, you know, hippie type, ooh, voodoo, but I was like, you know, it was like crazy. Now, he didn't look like him, but it was him, you know,
Yeah.
that
Doppelganger.
reincarnated spirit. And he goes, so you tell dirty jokes, huh? And I go, yeah, you know, that's what I do. And he goes, well, let's see what you got. And I'm 3 beers in, and it's packed. You can't move. It's his 85th birthday, and you can't move. But they're jazz and music people. They're not here to hear Jackie from the Stern Show. So he goes, go. Let me. What you got? I said, no, you don't want to hear what I got. He said, no, give us what you got. I said, are you sure? He goes, I can handle anything. Give me what you got. So I said, well, you know, to myself, I'm like, you asked for it. So I told a very, very dirty joke, and it brought the house down. And I did like 5 or 6 really, you know, the end of the act jokes,
Right.
and destroyed the place. And I said, thank you, Les. And I gave him a kiss and went and sat down. And I'm shaking. I was like, it was so exciting. And so Keith Richards is there with his mother, who was a blues singer. Now, who knew that?
Yeah.
So Les says, and that Keith Richards is here. Keith, come on up on stage. And the first fucking thing that Keith Richards said was, I don't know, Les, it's going to be a little tough to follow that bloke. And that's a Rolling Stone. And I'm like, you know, so I'm trying to keep my boner under the table. I went to see Les 60 or 70 times and got up on stage with him every time. And in all the times I saw him, no matter who was there, whether it was Slash or Merle Haggard, anybody, he never brought anybody up a second time. He just didn't do that.
Right.
And after Keith Richards is done, he played like another song, and Les was kind of like, he was still, something was going on. He said, Jackie the Joke Man, come back up here. And it was like, and I didn't know at the time, so what am I going to do? Because he was intrigued by the whole Howard Stern thing. So I'm going up, and when I went up, now I'm so fucking full of myself, you know. So I go up, and Keith Richards is, you know, all rock starred out, and he's got his hair is in, you know, in pigtails, you know, in the braids, and he's got the ribbons, and he's the rock star. And he really done up. And I come up on stage, and before I said anything to Les, I said, listen, and if she's a blues artist, come on, right? So totally facetious, I said, Keith, my good pal.
Right.
I said, Keith, you know, I just would like to say I would not ever have told those off-color jokes had I known your mother was with you. So he stands up and says, yeah, well, I'll tell you something about your mother, man. So, and I turned to the audience, I said, I'm getting heckled by a Rolling Stone. How cool am I? And the place goes nuts, okay? So then I turned to Les, and he goes, so tell me about this Howard Stern. You writing some of those things that he's saying? I go, yeah, how do you know, Adam must have filled him in with everything. I said, yeah. And he asked me something. I said, listen, this is your 85th birthday, and the place is jammed. They're here to celebrate you and celebrate your life and celebrate your music. You know, maybe some of them know who I am, maybe some of them don't. But listen, do your show and have a great time. Have a great birthday show. And when the show's over, we'll go to the bar, we'll have a beer, and we'll talk about the Howard Stern Show. And you know what? Maybe Keith will join us. And you know what? maybe he'll even buy. And you know what, Les? If he doesn't have any money on him, maybe he could use some of those beads in his fucking head. I'm telling you, the roof lifted off the place, and it was unbelievable. And then I said to the crowd, now I'm fucking with a Rolling Stone.
Right.
And I walked off to the fucking, the loudest shit I ever heard in my life. It was just, it was, and then afterwards, me and Les and Keith Richards had a bunch of beers in the dressing room. That's just the picture that I got
Right,
on my
that's
wall.
great.
It was
Yep,
just,
And you didn't know the Rolling Stones trivia question that we asked before.
yes, I'm going to tell everybody I got it.
Works. Well, speaking of trivia questions, the person who gets this question,
No,
right?
that's,
No? What's this?
We'll give them a copy of my autobiography.
Oh, you mean not this?
That's just,
not
that's
this,
the
not-
prompt you.
Can I get the pics too?
Yeah, you can have
All
it.
right.
You see that? Look at that. It's guitar picks. They're great.
Jackie
great
the Joke
promotion.
Man Martling's
I'm
autobiography
telling you
coming
that.
out. Is it out yet?
No, it's out. The Joke
out
Man,
now.
Bow
Okay.
to Stern.
Bow to Stern, I get it.
Free copy.
Free copy if you.
All right. As well as a Main
All right,
Street
the
Financial
answer is
t-shirt.
8 inches, and you got to come up with the question.
All right.
Woohoo!
How big
does
is Jackie's dick folded in half?
Can we do stump? Are you still doing
You
that
can
too?
do anything you want.
Can we have people write
there's
in?
enough of me.
Enough.
I'm sorry for that long story.
No, but
It's
that's
great.
a
You're
My
doing
fault,
it.
my
That was
fault.
good.
Sorry.
No. You guys are doing that
Your
too.
song.
My song.
Your
by Elton
song.
John. It's a little bit funny.
No,
Here's a trivia question.
you do your songs. I'll do the
This
show.
rock star, you guys should get this. This rock star, in 2003 on eBay sold. Well, somebody, I don't know who had it. His tooth and a lock of his hair sold on
Oh.
eBay in 2003 for over $100,000.
Alive or dead?
I can't tell you.
Come
That's
on.
not part of the question.
Throw us a bone.
Well, let's
No, hold on,
You
hold
already
on.
won.
2003?
You're very
That's
greedy,
right, I
man,
already have
Malcolm.
a
You already
t-shirt.
have
Who-
a T-shirt. Now you want another
You're
one?
right. It's
Who was
very
on their
greedy.
way out in 2003?
Who was losing teeth and hair in
Right.
2003?
All right. While we wait for the answer on that, let's get another original out of you, Malcolm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
let's do that.
You know the stuff that I'm doing. It's not really jam stuff, which is
No, that's cool. I'm actually gonna run to the restroom then while
Oh.
you do that. Too much coffee.
You guys going to play a song and you're going to take a leak while
yeah.
it plays?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Is that terrible?
it's the magic of radio.
I'll be right back. He's tuning. I'll
It's a
watch how quick
classic
I
thing
am.
when the band says, here's a song off our new album.
Yeah, right.
This next song is the first song on our new album.
We're going to play the whole thing for you now.
Yeah.
Wow, Joe can't handle these 2-hour shows.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, this is kind of an epic tune that I wrote with a friend of mine named Denny Blake. It's in 2 parts, and it's a little epic and slightly long, but hopefully you'll dig it. Open up the door, look out the window. Your life's not such a bore when the blinds are pulled from in front of your eyes. They don't make you free, they don't let you fly. You can't live and breathe, you can't see the sun, you can't be number one. 'Cause when you feel like you got it made, yeah, when you feel like you got it made, yeah, yeah. It's in your eyes, it's time for some feelings. It's in your hands with your thread-redded knuckles all scraping on top of the ceiling. They don't make you free, they don't make you wise. You're just staring dumb at the colored lights. Gonna be afraid until the day you die. 'Cause when you feel like you got it made, yeah, when you feel like you got it made, yeah, yeah. A trophy for impossibility. No rewards came for you today. No one wants to thank you. No one wants to take you. No one wants to be your baby now. Ooh, no one wants to be your baby now. with the sun beating down on your neck, and the smell of the bushes up your nose, and the sound of the trees all around you, damn near ready to astound you. 'Cause when you feel like you got it made, yeah, when you feel like you got it made, yeah, when you feel like you got it made. Ruby, Ruby, what else can I say? I go to work for you every single day, for you and your baby, and just sometimes friends. It's a non-stop party, girl, it never ends. But the dustman's calling your name, and baby, that's just the same. Everybody can't hang, but the dustman's calling your name, and baby, that's just the same. Don't try to complain, because the bottle you drink is the bottle you keep, and every minute you spend is an hour I weep. Well, I'm sure you can change things if you just try high. Well, you can rise from the ashes and color the sky, whatever color you want, baby. But the dustman's calling your name, and baby, that's just the same. Everybody can't hang, but the dustman's calling your name, and baby, that's just the same. It's all part of the game. It's all part of the game.
Wow, man, that was something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Or all of it too. I don't want to disrupt it. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for indulging me with the non-jamming songs.
No, it's a pleasure.
It is.
You got to play one, Joe.
This is an hour.
Yeah, come on, Joe.
Normally an hour show. I have a bladder of an 8-year-old girl.
Joe, we're walking if you don't play one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
Come on.
No. Did anybody get the trivia question right?
Not that I saw. Sorry.
Yep. Let's.
I didn't see anybody get it right.
What were the guesses on the? Did you know what the answer was?
No, I don't
Oh,
actually.
okay.
We've had a.
Iggy Pop.
It's
It
a
is not
rock and
Iggy
roll.
Pop.
It's a rock artist.
It's a rock artist. We'll say it's.
All right, so
oh,
some of the
I'll do it.
guesses: George Harrison, Shane McGowan, and Elvis. Those are the
Yeah,
three
Elvis.
guesses.
Gina got it.
Oh,
It was
Elvis is
It
the
was
answer.
Elvis.
Who was selling it?
Who was eBay?
I don't know.
Who's? I
Oh, I thought the artist was selling his own tooth.
Oh, did I say? I
Oh.
asked it. Well,
No,
you know
No,
what?
you might have asked her right. I
Gina
heard it
didn't
wrong.
think that. So Gina.
My question
You
is,
still have to give your book to
when
Gina.
when did they get the tooth in the hair? Was it
Right.
Is it just like fell
I'm
out
not
at some
prepared
point?
for all these follow-up questions.
No, it's cool.
I'm
I
just-
get it.
Had it
That's
been
fair.
at the dentist all that time?
Yeah.
They exhumed him. And they
Oh,
pulled out the tooth.
goodness.
I don't know. I have no idea. But yes, congratulations, Gina. We
Yeah,
will.
Gina.
We'll get me your address, and we'll send you a copy of the new autobiography of Mr.
Joke
Jackie
me
the
about
Joke.
a stone. I'll send you a pile of stuff.
Nice.
Very nice.
There's
So-
a guy. There's a very funny guy named what's big? Victor Colicchio, who's a writer. He wrote Summer Sam, and he wrote Potluck, a movie that I got a little role in. And he was friends with Otis Blackwell, and he swears it's a true story. He said this story was told to him by Otis Blackwell's bass player or his drummer, something like that. But they all were writing songs together, and they were all trying to get somewhere. All these black guys, and they weren't getting anywhere. And I think all of a sudden Otis Blackwell wrote "Don't Be Cruel," and it went to the moon.
Yeah.
And of course, like the way producers were, with the black guys, they patted him on the head and gave him a Cadillac and said, "Thank you very
Thanks,
much."
right.
Took the money.
So, I don't know how much of that is true, but you fill in the, and so now Otis is king. You know, he's got the big, huge Cadillac, and his friends are like all sucking up to him because he's got the money.
It's on the radio.
So I hope this is a true story. So he pulled into a gas station, and he says to his partner who's riding shotgun, he says, go and get me a Coca-Cola. I said, what do you mean, go to Coca? Go get me a Coca. Oh, you missed a big shot with your car, with your Cadillac, and you missed the hit song. I'm going to get you. And he says, get a Coke. So he goes in and gets a Coca-Cola. And he comes back and gets in the Cadillac. And he shakes up the Coke and opens it up and sprays it all over Otis. Says, write a song about that motherfucker. And he wrote All Shook Up.
Oh.
I hope that's a true story.
So do I.
Is that a
That would've
great,
been a- that
isn't that a
Holy
great
shit.
songwriting?
That would have been a good trivia question. How was all shook? Well,
And maybe
you
like
could've
it's like
formed that
bless my
somehow.
soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fur tree. Maybe he was like itching from the Coca-Cola.
There you
Right.
go.
I think that's what you guys should play right now.
Bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I wish you like a man on a fuzzy tree. Friends saying why as a bug, I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Yeah, yeah.
All right, just riff on the music. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? What's your name, honey? My name's Mildred, Elvis. Where you from, Mildred? I'm from Nashville, Elvis. I played Nashville. I know, Elvis. I saw you. Thank you very much. I'm all shook up. Hey, you, honey. What's your name? Alan, Elvis. Can I ask you a personal question? Sure, Elvis. Where are you from? I'm from Denver, Elvis. I played Denver. I know, Elvis. I saw you. You, honey, there. What's your name? Darlene. Can I ask you a personal question, Darlene? Sure, Elvis. You gonna finish that potato?
I'm all shook up. Yeah. Well, please don't ask me what's on my mind. I'm a little mixed up, feeling fine. When I met a girl that I love better, my heart beats so it scares me to death. She touched my hand, what a chill I got. Her lips are like a volcano that's hot. I'm proud to say that she's my buttercup. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. One more time. Ooh, ooh, yeah, yeah. I'm all shook up.
Nice. That was great.
Coke all over
Funny
me.
joke. So Gina says she actually already has the book.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, then she has to come over to my house.
that's a whole different kind of prize.
Gina, send me your address, jokeland@aol.com, and I'll send you stuff that you don't have.
So your website though is www.jokeland.com.
Jokeland.com, but my email is jokeland@aol.com. Not Jokeman, Jokeland
Jokeland.
at AOL.com.
That reminded me of something that's unrelated, but reminds me of it. I remember watching Letterman, and Denzel Washington was the guest, and he came out and he was so excited. It was like a kid on Christmas, and Dave was like, "You seem really excited." And he's like, "Don Rickles is on the show. You put me on the show with Don Rickles."
Nice.
He's like, "You don't know what a big Don Rickles fan I am." He's like, I can't wait. Can I stay when he's out?" And he's like, "Yeah, if it's cool with Don." He's like, how are you such a big Don Rickles fan?" He's like, "I've been a Don Rickles fan ever since." This is Denzel telling the story. "My wife and I were in Las Vegas, and we had a night off, and we were looking for something to do, and we saw in the ballroom of the hotel we were in that Don Rickles was giving a concert. So we went, and he came out, and he was doing his usual berating of the audience, and that's what made me think of it, is when Elvis was like, "Hey, where are you from?" And he's like, and Denzel goes, so he's going to the usual, "Hey, where are you from? What do you do for a living?" He gets to one guy, and he goes, "What are you from? What do you do for a living? You're on vacation. You here with your wife? This is your wife?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, this is my wife." And Rickles goes, "Jesus." And Denzel was
the
like,
best.
ever from that moment,
Sold.
I was sold.
Sold.
I was sold. And so Rickles comes out after the Denzel interview and just levels Denzel. It's just like on him, like the whole
Oh, that's
segment.
good.
It was
That's so
great.
great.
So great.
There's nobody, and unfortunately, you couldn't do that today.
Ah, he still did it.
I think he can get away
Yeah,
with
but
it.
starting out, if you're starting out today, I don't think you
No,
can get away with
no.
that kind of stuff now. But yeah, he was
He's a
great.
character.
Definitely.
Great character. Finally, I met him just
Did you?
just at the end. Just went to see him in Atlantic City. There was a very good friend of mine, Scott Alswang, is a Jewish guy, and he's in the Secret Service, and he was guarding Reagan, because Reagan was at a Frank Sinatra roast or something, and billion years ago, and he's standing outside the door, and Rickles went to go say hello to Reagan, and he said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I'm Secret Service." He says, "Aren't you a Jew?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm a Jew." He said, "Me too." And they were friends for like 40 years. He used to say Scott Oswing's name in Letterman and everything. So
Right.
Scott took us down to see him,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
and we went backstage and said hello, and, you know. But, it, was, you know, "Aren't you a Jew?" And the guy doesn't look Jewish, you know. They know.
They know.
Want to hear a great Jewish joke? Two Jewish guys are on the Titanic, and it's going down, and the first guy starts to cry. The other guy says, "What are you crying for? It's not your boat." That's the funniest.
So you know every joke, right?
Nah, I don't know.
What's the stump the joke man?
No,
know,
yeah,
let's
I
discuss
know.
the
I
stump.
know a lot of them, and I can usually figure them out.
And if
and
somebody stumps you, right?
They get a T-shirt that
Do you
says
know?
I
Do you
stumped
know the
Jacob
one you
Dylan.
were talking about, the band you were in? I was gonna say it before, and you had an accordion player. Do you know the one about the accordion player who comes into town and is early for his gig, so he goes to a restaurant to get dinner and realizes food comes. He's eating his food and he realizes in the middle of his dinner that he left his accordion in plain sight on the back seat of his car down the street. So he freaks out and he puts down his fork and he goes running back to his car, but by the time he gets back, it's too late. The back window's broken and the car is filled with accordions.
That's great. That's a great joke. Those all those are so funny. They're all so great. The accordion player and there's a two-man group, the accordion player and the trombone player, and they get a job on New Year's Eve. Do you know that?
No.
And they do the gig on New Year's Eve, and they do fine, you know. And and when they're done, the guy says, "You know, I think maybe I'll have you guys again next year." And the accordion player says, "Great. Can we leave our stuff?" Those jokes. You know what Paul Schaefer told the greatest joke? The settlers are going across the West. You know, the settlers are going across the West on a wagon train, and all of a sudden, one of the settlers turns to the other settler and says, "I don't like the sound of those drums." And from over the rise, you hear, "He's not our regular drummer!" Those jokes are so
These are all
great.
good music
There's
jokes.
there's another good one too. It's a little perhaps too dirty to tell.
Oh,
but
No,
stop.
not
Not on
here.
Guns
all right,
Radio.
so this stripper goes into her agent's office. You've probably heard this one.
No, go ahead. Go
The
ahead.
stripper goes into her agent's office, and the agent goes, "Starlight, darling, you look amazing. You look so beautiful. How do you love that? How do you like that new gig that I got you down at the new club? Do you love it? Is it not the best gig you ever had?" And she says, "Well, actually, that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here to talk to you about, Mort. It's the worst fucking gig I've ever had in my life. It's the most degrading, humiliating gig I've ever had in my life." And he goes, "Well, what's wrong?" And she goes, "You know what? I don't want to go into it. Just come down tonight and see for yourself." So he goes down, gets a seat in the front row. The lights come down. The band kicks in. Curtain goes up. She comes out, starts dancing. And all of a sudden, these two midgets come out of nowhere. I'm going with the old school comedy. It's not politically correct.
No, just shut up.
So these two midgets come out of nowhere and they kick the legs out from underneath her and they're doing all kinds of abusive shit to her and they're, you know, doing their thing and having their way with her, and she, after a while, they scatter and she grabs her clothes and scatters off to the other side of the stage, and the agent goes freaking out back to the backstage and he goes, "Oh my God, Starlight, if I knew this gig was this bad, I would have never booked you on it." And she says, "I know, it's the drummer, right?"
That's so great. That's so great. So the guy is a musician and he can't make any money. His friend calls up and says, "Listen, I just made a movie. I need some music for the movie." The guy says, "Oh, I'm thrilled. Are you going to pay me?" "Yeah, I'm going to pay." "Oh, that's great. Well, send me the movie." He says, "Look, you don't need to see the movie. I just need about 20 minutes of filler music. Just give me music, you know. He says, "All right," because he pays him well. He sends him music, and after a while, he calls his friend and says, "Listen, I want to see the movie. It's my music. I want to see the movie." The guy says, "Well, look, I got to tell you the truth. It's a porn film." He says, "Well, I don't care. I still want to see it. He's only playing in one place, down the village, a little tiny rat hole of a place. You want to go see it?" He said, "I want to go see it." So he goes down to this rat hole, and he walks in, and the place is empty. And he's sitting there, and then a little old couple comes in. and sits right next to him. He's like, "Oh, brother," and place goes dark. Screen opens. The guy comes out. Girl comes out. They strip. No sooner are they banging each other, a Great Dane walks out. Here comes the Great Dane. The Great Dane starts licking the girl's ass. The next thing you know, the girl's blowing the Great Dane. And everything you can imagine is going on. And this guy's kind of freaking out. And finally he turns to the little old couple and he says, "This is my music." And the little old lady says, "We're here to see our dog."
Oh my god. Well, I got no jokes to tell.
Holy shit.
Why would you song?
That's like the aristocrats.
Yeah.
We're like getting into aristocrat territory.
Yes.
We're gonna have to start playing some music soon,
Yeah, let's
too,
do it.
because
No,
I
you
got-
tell.
No. We're gonna do the sponsor thing real quick.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about Sheryl Crow too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
This week, we are excited to have a great sponsor for the show, Main Street Financial Group. They are an independent financial service firm located right in Kings Park. No matter who you are, it is worth giving these guys a call. They really care about their clients and are experts in retirement planning, investing, insurance, and can help anyone with their financial situation. They provide the average Long Islander with financial planning and guidance, usually reserved for the ultra wealthy. Give them a call at 631-269-2300 or visit their website at www.msfg.nifo. Mention J.A.M. and receive a complimentary meeting to review your personal finances.
Nice.
All right.
So good at that. She's so good at
She's
that.
good.
She's the best.
She's all
Oh,
right.
she's good.
Thank you.
You got a free T-shirt.
That's
Free
the loudest
t-shirt.
applause of the
Yay.
night so far.
What's that?
That's the loudest applause of the night so far. So let's talk about your little stint there with Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, it wasn't a very long stint. It was I just did some recording with her. I used to play there's this guy named Dan Zanes. I don't know if you heard of him, but
No.
he was in a band called the Del Fuegos back in the day. And
I
then
heard of them, yeah.
I heard of that.
and then he went solo and had a couple of really great records on this independent label. And I ended up playing in his band with Simon Kirk, the drummer from Bad Company. It was like
Nice.
a trio.
Oh, cool.
And we used to do, amongst other shows, we did every Tuesday night at the Rodeo Bar, which was this great place that just closed like a year ago in Murray Hill on like 3rd and like
That was a great
27th.
bar.
Great
Great
bar.
I actually did comedy there a couple times.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't believe that.
I believe it.
It didn't work, but it
Okay.
was fun.
You shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had this idea that he wanted to do a just for fun and to hand out to people as Christmas presents, to do some family music, like for children and families.
Put those on for a second.
Oh.
Put those on for a second.
Yeah. Can I? Yeah.
Is this you playing bass?
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
good? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know why you're not here.
Wow,
you
look
need
at
to be
you.
here every week. All right, this is
What
Malcolm
what
Gold
is
on bass with
what is
Sheryl
this?
Crow.
What is this devil box that you're using that finds things so easily?
The iPad?
Can they hear? I mean, are we
Yeah.
there? Oh.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah. So this is Polly Wally Doodle.
All the day?
Although, that's right. I think it's Polly Wally Doodle.
Yeah, probably
Went
one
down
doodle.
south to see my
Yeah.
last.
Yeah.
So what year was this?
This was like 97.
Oh, wow.
98, something
Nice.
like that.
So
So
she was still big at that time.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
well,
yeah, sure.
well, wow, you can really hear everything with these things. Huh?
Amazing invention.
So Dan and Simon both had studios in this place called Globe Studios, which was in the meatpacking district. And so Dan had brought Sheryl in to record what ended up being the Globe Sessions, which is a great record that she did.
Sure is.
Yep.
And so we were all kind of hanging, doing our thing. She was doing her thing. We were all having lunch together and all this. And like, you know, it was actually that Graham Parsons project. Emmylou Harris was doing a thing called Return of the Grievous Angel. And so one day Emmylou Harris was there, and we were all like completely starstruck. And anyway, so we did that, and then there was talk of doing a track for the Globe Sessions that we did, but it didn't make it onto the record, which would have been maybe a better credit than Polly Wally Doodle.
I
But
don't know. I think this is probably her best stuff.
but that's
That's
probably
my
her best
opinion.
stuff.
Still say
I
you
mean,
played with her.
The
That's good enough.
the lyricism of it all. But it was a really great time for all of us. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was like this communal kind of like artist thing going on, sort of.
Hey, Pollywally Doodle is Stephen Foster, right? That's some good company, no?
Is it? Yeah, I don't know.
So the end of that story is that Dan made cassette tapes, and everybody got 2 of them to hand out to just the family for doing the project. And somebody from Rykodisc got a hold of one of them and made him an offer to put it out as a record. And he turned him down, but went into business for himself, started his own record label, and now is like the king of family music.
Oh, wow.
Everywhere. He's like the guy.
Cool.
And so Simon and I were the rhythm section for the first 2 records.
Nice.
Yeah.
Still in touch with them, or?
I haven't talked to Simon in a while. Dan I talked to just via email not too long ago. But yeah.
Nice. I want to say that I'm actually failing this week at viewer interaction because I'm having such a good time.
Oh,
with
yeah,
you
let's-
guys. Just
are there
You
vamping.
really should play
Well,
one
no,
of your
well,
songs for us.
Well,
Yeah.
all right,
Nobody
well,
else.
what I would like to do is actually I want to put out to you guys if there's a song that you want to hear. We actually did get a request for one of your songs that you did
that's
already,
right.
Cold Gold, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we fulfilled
So,
every request.
If you guys want to keep those things coming, those requests coming. we-
Kurt Tazelar says excellent guitar arrangement of Vienna.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Gina Konjemi Coffin wants to know, have you ever read or seen old Jews telling jokes?
I
Are
guess
you
it's
asking me? I didn't go.
Every
But
every Passover Seder I ever went to.
Yeah. It's every joke I tell, but I'm not an old Jew. But I'm old enough. In fact, I was going to do a competing, Jackie telling jokes. Somebody said you should do Jackie telling dirty jokes. I said no, Jackie telling jokes. If they don't know, they're going to be dirty. But those old Jewish jokes are so great. They're all so great.
Yeah, lots of funny stuff.
So your autobiography though, that you have
That's
out now.
my life.
That's all your whole life. That's everything. That's,
Yeah, soup to nuts. Although it's a piece of it. I actually wrote enough for 2 of them. When I get an email from somebody saying, "Oh, I really loved your autobiography," I just send them all the chapters that didn't get in. I say, "Well, here you go."
right. Do you have your music stuff in there too?
What do you mean, like
The music. I mean your CDs and your
talking about them?
yeah.
No, not really. It is just glaring chunks. There's nothing from the '70s in there. Hardly anything about college. There's hardly anything about comedy in there, because it had to be so much Howard Stern crap.
Right, well, it's Howard and Stern, right?
And then getting there, So it's we all have a crazy lifetime. So you just have to pick and choose, and of course, it's like anything. The chapters that didn't make it in, then you read them. Oh, that's the best. How did that not get in?
Right,
It's always if you write something and you lose the paper, that was the best thing I ever wrote.
I'm sure you told the story about how you got involved with Stern, right? I don't think we talked about it, but you got.
Buy the book.
There you go. That's the
you
answer
go.
we're looking for.
I made 3 homemade records, and I sent them to everybody on the planet, and he happened to listen to them and said, "These are so funny. Come in and sit on the show." And then when I became a major part of the show, he said, "We never listened to the records." He's so full of shit. It's so funny. But it was great. I did 3 horrible, self-produced LPs, but if they served no other purpose but to get me onto that show,
There you go.
they served their purpose.
Absolutely.
Very
So
nice.
why don't we do? You want to do another Billy song?
Sure.
We only talked about one of your favorite bass lines, which
Right.
was The Stranger. What's another one of your favorite ones?
Well, there's some bass in Scenes from an Italian Restaurant that's really, really good stuff. There's a fill that Doug played right at the beginning of the sax solo, which is like this really old school rock and roll thing, but the way he did it was really cool. So the sax is going right. So the sax solo is, and then Doug went, which is like really old school, like rockabilly
Right.
kind of shit that I never really noticed until I had to sit down and figure it out. And I was like, wow, that's cool.
Why don't we do it? Let's do a little bit of it.
Scenes?
Yeah.
Sure.
Where do you want to take it from?
Where you want to take it from?
Where's that bass part?
That's like, I guess, where is that? That's like right after maybe the second chorus or something. Why don't you take it from the Brenda and Eddie part?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll try and sing it. 2, 3, 4. Brenda and Eddie were the popular steadies and the king and the queen and the prom. Riding around with the car top down and the radio on. Nobody looked any finer. It was more of a hit at the Parkway Diner. We never knew we could want more than that out of life. But surely Brenda and Eddie would always know how to survive. Whoa, 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 whoa. Brenda and Eddie were still going steady in the summer of '75, when they decided the marriage would be at the end of July. Everyone said they were crazy. Brenda, you know that you're much too lazy, and Eddie could never afford to live that kind of life. Oh, but there we were waving Brenda and Eddie goodbye. Oh, oh, oh. Well, they got an apartment with deep park carpets and a couple of pennies for seals. A big water bed that they bought with the bread they had saved for a couple of years. Started to fight when the money got tight. They just didn't count on the tears. Whoa, 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 whoa. So here comes that lick. Yeah, rock and roll.
Ah, nice.
I mean,
Great.
that's the shit, right?
Right, and you wouldn't know it. So,
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, that's the lick from.
right.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, they lived for a while in a very nice style, but it's always the same in the end. They got a divorce as a matter of course, and they parted the closest of friends. Then the king and the queen went back to the green, but you can never go back there again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Brenda and Eddie had it already by the summer of '75. From the height of the low to the end of the show for the rest of their lives. They couldn't go back to the greasers. Best they could do was pick up their pieces. And we always knew they would both find a way to get by. Oh, and that's all I heard about Brenda and Eddie. Can't tell you more cause I told you already. And here we are waving Brenda and Eddie goodbye. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right here.
Nice, man. That was great.
Wow.
That was cool.
Those
It's
harmonies.
amazing how you just cannot get sick of that song.
No, it's a
No.
classic.
Cannot get
It's a
sick.
classic.
So, were people? Because I'm way behind now.
Yeah,
Did anybody shout any requests?
Yeah.
Because
No, actually.
Yeah, but I
well,
think
you
people
guys
are
all
just
suck.
enjoying it. They
Absolutely,
I mean,
yeah.
I think they're a little quiet this week just because they're just really interested
Taking
in
it
what you
all
guys
in.
are saying and the playing's
our
great. And
viewers quiet.
they
Yeah,
are.
believe it or
like
not.
people are even writing in just to let you know we're still here.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You know, so
Yeah.
Well, you're a
that's
big,
great.
you're a big Beatle fan, aren't you? You know any Beatles? Joe's a big Beatle guy. Am I putting you on the spot?
We used to get in so much trouble in high school because we played all Beatles, and I mean, we're playing Rubber Soul, and those weren't the kind of songs people play in high school rock and roll bands. But we just loved the songs. But I don't know from any of them, you know. God, a million years, you know.
Well, there were two more originals that I want to hear you do from your album.
You know,
Well, the first one,
the first song on the album.
Turn Around. What was? Because I'm drawing a blank now. But you only gave it to me last week, but I listened to it. What's the first one called?
Bad Timing and Monologue of Life Blues. I could play, let me play.
Yeah.
I'll play one verse of that
Okay.
because that goes on and on and on and on.
And then Charlie's song.
No, we did Charlie Shuffle.
We did Charlie Shuffle. That was a train one. That's right.
It would other two verses. This is the same figure the whole time, so we can play these. I'm gonna sing this song to your mama to try and wind up my routine. Just remember I'm trying to be funny. I ain't trying to be mean. Well, I believe it's a bit of mine you never heard before. Please bend me an ear before you walk out that door. But have mercy on my reviews. I got the bad timing in do the second verse. It's kind
Yeah.
of funny. Great. Before they went and got married, Ma and Pa got plastered. They weren't too neat in somebody's backseat, and I was the resulting offspring. I came out smiling from where the sun doesn't shine, where some folks fiddle and Malcolm likes to dine. I guess Pop missed one of his cues. He had the bad timing in the monologue of life blues. Bad timing, bad timing, bad timing, bad. I'm laying a great big egg. I got flop sweat rolling down my brow. But I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna beg some and take just this one last bow. Why is it, woman, you come back for more if you think my grand finale's such a terrible bore? Or is it you realize I got nothing left to lose but my red, my yellow, my green, my orange, my purple, but my blue? Bad timing, bad timing, bad timing. I said lake, earth, field, stream, river, and mountain. I wish that there was liquor in every water fountain. It just might cure my red, my yellow, my green, my orange, my purple, but my never cure my blues. Bad timing, bad time. I said the bad timing in the monologue of life's bad news.
That was great. Thank you for playing the whole thing. That was cool.
Showing off the range too.
No doubt.
That was great.
Oh, please.
Ron Barber, he was digging it. He said, "Go, Jackie, go!" And he wants to know if you have any serious songs.
Are there any Jews in show business?
Sounds.
I don't think so. None that come to mind.
Yeah, I got plenty of heartbreak songs. Yeah, we don't need those.
Well, that's what the people want.
Just like your originals. That's what the people
Nobody
want.
wants that.
What the? What is with you?
Because
We're putting you
we
on the
have,
spot.
we have two amazing guests here today, and I'm not taking.
so
I'm
what,
not
though?
taking
Even they're asking for it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
putting you
know,
right on the spot, man.
We don't know.
But
you.
also,
He's
if
never
you
gonna
don't
ask
know
us
you.
back.
I'll do a verse and a chorus.
There you
all
go.
right?
There you go. Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Very nice.
Joe DeJesus.
Okay, verse and a chorus.
I
Here we
can't
go.
believe this fucking guy brings us in. He's going to play his.
I know. What the fuck is that?
Anybody have to go to the bathroom?
Rude
Now's the
motherfucker.
time.
He's so
So
self-centered.
rude, Joe. God.
All right, the fast
It was
verse.
going so well, too.
I'm not even gonna tune. Let's just get this over with.
I got to take a shit. Can I
Yeah,
get
let's
it?
go. Right there. All right, here we go. Longest intro ever. I could buy you roses, but that's not me. Thank you. Can't see me proposing on bended knee. And I don't wanna celebrate on Valentine's, but I would crush the grapes to make you wine. I like to watch a sunset move through your eyes, or I could always write your name across the sky. I could even climb up on your fire escape and play you yesterday on my guitar. But I wanna be the one who matters everything to you when your whole world shatters. I wanna be original, won't send you flowers. On the side of the Eiffel Tower, make love to you in a lightning shower. I wanna be original, won't send you flowers. And I'm in there.
Yeah.
Give you a verse
Nice,
and a
man.
chorus.
Very
Nice.
nice.
Only because we only have like 13 minutes left.
It was awesome. Awesome,
And we need
I
to
say.
get to one more trivia question because we got to do 2 per hour, and we got to do one more from our sponsor. So, I don't know what. Okay, here's a good trivia question. For a T-shirt, Main Street Financial T-shirt, and any other garb that anybody in this panel wants to give away to a winner. You already did that, so don't feel.
Oh, we can give out
We're,
passes.
we're throwing in 3 dirty
Passes?
joke CDs.
Yeah, all right.
We can
cool.
give out passes to the club,
What club?
to this club.
Oh.
Is that bad?
No, I thought maybe, you know. All right, this girl group, 1981, their debut album went to number 1. It was the first time an all-girl group had an album go to number 1, 1981.
81. It's got to be the Go-Go's.
Well,
Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong. Just
Are we-
just let the people.
Are we guessing, or were we letting people guess first?
well, we'll let people guess.
okay.
I won't tell you if you're right or
You,
wrong.
you hosed the whole thing.
I was just
I
saying
thought
how
we
it's
were
nice
allowed to
having you
guess.
here, and
I thought we were allowed
you
to
just-
guess.
all right, now I gotta pause.
He
You guys
doesn't have
time
any
out?
shirts at home. He really needs a T-shirt.
We were guessing the Rolling Stones
that-
thing.
was that
so
the
I thought
right
we'd
answer?
get-
I mean,
Are
Name,
we- are we
name
not
all
to-
the Beatles from the Cavern Club.
Oh, I can do that.
name all the Beatles
Well,
that,
you're a musician.
that were in the group. You're saying?
Yeah, the original Beatles.
The original.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Seven.
there's
Seven?
7 Beatles.
Well, name
Not at one. Not at one time.
Name the 7
That's
Beatles.
a good trivia.
There were
question.
5
All
at
right.
one time.
I would say name the original 5 Beatles.
Sure.
That's a good trivia question.
All right, name the original 5 Beatles.
Did you ever hear on iTunes they actually have the one that probably nobody knows? There's actually a version of him doing "Love Me Tender" on iTunes.
Really?
Yeah, somebody dug it up somewhere and put it out.
Cool.
While we're waiting for the answer,
Yeah,
Sgt. Pepper was number 1
that's right.
in 1967.
Don Michael
It was 20
Prager.
years ago today. Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. That's probably the wrong key.
Good G, right?
It's good. It's really high.
Yeah.
It was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. They were going in and out of style, but they guaranteed to raise a smile. So may I introduce to you the active of all these years, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I don't know this part. We're Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We hope you will enjoy the show. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Sit back and let the evening go. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. Take it. It's wonderful to be here. It's certainly a thrill. Such a lovely audience. We'd like to take you home with us. We'd love to take you home. I don't really want to start the show, but I thought you might like to know that the singer's gonna sing a song, and we want you all to sing along. So let me introduce to you the one and only Billy Shears, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
You went to the next one?
I don't know. We could try.
Ringo's birthday yesterday.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Ooh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Ooh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I just need someone to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Alright, I think that's enough, Beatles.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday, Ringo.
happy
Nice.
birthday,
Birthday,
Ringo.
Ringo.
Now Joe's a real rock star. He's wrecking the place.
Yeah. Tear it down.
We got an answer to the question? Anybody get it?
Nobody answered it yet.
Come on. 5. Name the original. The original 5 Beatles. 5 Beatles.
And we're even making it easier by telling you that it's 5.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. Yep.
Or 7.
No, they.
Well, it's yeah.
No, they. I was in the doldrums there. There was 5. Yeah, because all 3 of those guys were playing guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
I think the greatest picture I get. Do you remember Pie Studios in Glen Cove?
No.
Because the guy there was sitting next to this guy turns out was a big time producer, but the guy, the Beatles came up and the guy said, fuck the Beatles, they used to open up for us. He said, what are you talking about? And the guy pulled out a picture. And you ever have a picture when you're a kid that you have in your wallet that's like this big, so it's folded over and
Yeah.
there's a crease, and there was a crease. And when we recorded a song of mine for a movie, and at Pi Studios, and I saw that, and if you're a big Beatles fan, you know every picture.
Yes.
You don't see any pictures you never saw before, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? He says, I was sitting in London, and this guy pulled out the guy was in the Undertakers, which was a band that wore top hats and rode motorcycles, and the Beatles opened up for him at the Cavern Club.
Wow.
But now that picture's on the internet; it's everywhere,
Sure.
And the guy, I guess, was a pretty famous producer, but I didn't know it at the time. And I spent a lot of money at Perry's studio. And one day, it just came in the mail, a framed copy of this little picture, but this
Wow.
big, and it's those 5. And that's
Yeah.
so that's emblazoned in my head.
Well,
No Ringo, that's a hint.
Right.
Yeah,
no Ringo, right? So
it's a good hint.
no, but they just want to listen. I think.
All right.
I want you guys to plug what you got going on with the time that we have left. Plug
Go ahead, Jack.
everything that you have.
I tweet jokes every day at Jackie Martling. And if you want to get jokes in the mail every month, Jokeland at AOL.com. Jokeland at AOL.com. I've been doing dirty jokes on the phone for over 40 years now. 516-922-WINE, which I actually got me the job producing the shows here. Because the Governor's Comedy Shop was a rock club, and the neighbors were going to shut it down. And the owners were like, what are we going to do? And one of the owners said, why don't we try making it a comedy place? And somebody said, why don't you get that guy with the dirty joke line? And they called me up, and me and my girlfriend, who later became my wife, we said, all right, put the stage there, put a speaker there and a speaker there. I'll get the comedians, like the Little Rascals, and we'll have a show.
Yeah.
So
we
this,
did.
that was you?
Yeah.
That's
Look
cool.
at that.
We opened up in September of 1981. And then like 2 years later, they had collected all the comedians' phone numbers and said, well, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's par for the course. That was fun.
Yeah, there's a picture out there, Jackie, that says circa 1982
Nice.
on
Great fun.
Governor Stage.
Oh, it's great fun.
Gabrielle Cacciola.
Cacciola.
She got
Gabby.
one. She got one of the original Beatles, so I asked her for the second.
One?
She got one of them. One of the ones who didn't make it.
Gabrielle Cacciola is an amazing singer and artist that I work with. And actually,
nice.
a song that we co-wrote and recorded together is actually on my website, too, called
Oh, nice.
Find Our Way Home, which is a great song.
So when you come back, bring her with you.
Yeah.
All right,
I-
she's,
Thanks for supplanting me, Gabriella. Gabriella.
all right. She just said Lennon, Paul, George, Ringo. Now we're looking for.
No.
We gave the clue. No Ringo. We gave the clue for that. So who was there before Ringo? So she got one. She named Stuart Sutcliffe. He was the bass player.
Right.
Very good.
She's Googling this as we speak.
Oh, is that right?
Damn it. You gotta accept it. 'cause he's
I
not-
should tell her that she could look at that actual picture. Chris.
There you go.
somebody.
the
Did you
honor
see
system.
yesterday yet?
I did.
What'd you think?
Moving on.
Oh,
Malcolm.
You talking about yesterday?
The movie.
I loved
didn't like
it.
it?
I thought it was really. I thought it was great.
I like the premise, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I like the premise.
It was more. We were talking about it this morning on our show. It was more of a romantic comedy than I thought. I liked the premise too, and I thought it was going to be more on that.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be more of a romantic comedy than anything else. Although there was one scene that I won't mention because it's a
then
spoiler,
don't.
but you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That to me it was just worth it to see
Yeah.
the whole movie for one scene that
I
took
was
place.
disappointed in the scene.
You were disappointed in that scene?
Ah.
I was highly
boy,
disappointed in
here
that scene.
Wow.
So one of the questions that I always ask the guests actually is, what artist? This reminds me of that. What artist do you think, or could be your guilty pleasure artist? Like we've had people answer like they love Barry Gibb or they love which,
Yeah.
obviously the Bee Gees were great, but sometimes you're embarrassed to say who you really really like. So
Somebody who's maybe not that cool that you like a lot.
like Barry
Right.
Manilow or something.
Barry Manilow is a common answer.
The Backstreet Boys.
And then the other side to
I
that
got
is
him. I
I
got one.
hate myself for liking Frank Sinatra.
Why?
Not because
The epitome of
he's
cool.
such a despicable piece of shit.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
Come on.
please, the worst, the very worst person.
wow.
Oh,
but you like his music.
and then I'm, summer wind and like I float.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's kind of like listening to Michael Jackson now.
Wow.
A lot of people feel that
Or
way.
Bill
you know?
Cosby.
Or right.
Right.
So who's your answer to that?
Barbara
Malcolm?
Streisand.
Yeah, that's
I
she's
love
phenomenal.
Barbara Streisand. I've had a crush on her since I was probably like not even old enough to know what a crush was. you
Right,
know?
right.
My entire life. Love you. I love you, Babs.
Yeah, she's
No, but
watching.
it's
I'm
weird
sure she's
what's in
watching.
and out. Like I always loved the Monkey songs, but you didn't realize back then that the songs were being written by the very best songwriters.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
there was no
Neil
accident.
Diamond, right?
Yeah.
Carol
Straight to
King-
Clarksville.
I'm a
Carol
believer,
King,
yeah.
Neil
Or maybe
Diamond.
maybe it was I'm a Believer. Maybe that's the
Yeah,
That's
well,
That's
one
Neil
of them,
Diamond.
Right,
Wrote that,
but
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
idea of it. You know,
Well,
great.
the other way around now. Who's somebody that or a group or whatever that everybody loves or that's well
That you just
respected
don't
that you
get?
just you don't like it. You don't
All the above.
Yeah.
It's tough. I've answered this question. I've answered James Taylor to this question. Not to say the guy's not talented. Not to say that he's not. People hate me for it. I've gotten hate mail for it.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
never
I'm
speak
just-
to you again.
I
there you go.
don't get Kanye.
You don't get Kanye.
I don't get it.
Well,
I
I
don't.
just-
that's a.
To me, the day the world ended is the day that rap music became a category on the Grammys. You know, and that's nothing racist about it. I just don't like
you
the
just like the
fucking
music.
music.
But who's
I
an
just
artist?
don't like
all right.
it.
So,
I'm a fan of a lot of rap music, but Kanye I just don't get.
I agree with
And
that.
I never liked metal. I used to tell people that I never bought a record after Chicago 2. It was just like 1960. You know, I was full. I had nothing.
Right.
I had some Eagles and some Beatles.
I get that.
So, Malcolm, plug what you have going on too. Because
Oh,
I just realized that we just went over.
I'm doing a show tomorrow night actually with a great band that I work with a lot called Chappelle. Great songwriter named Alan Chappelle, and the band is all killer New York City musicians, and it's at the Cutting Room.
Nice.
Great place.
With a great band. I think their full name is the American Nomads, or maybe it's just the Nomads, but they're also a really good band.
Okay.
So that's tomorrow night at 8. And the next Lord show I think is somewhere around the next Lord show in Long Island is August 9th, I think, at the Suffolk Theater.
It's Friday
out
or
River.
Saturday?
One of those. I'm not sure. I'm going to guess Friday, but I don't know. But it's on their website, which is lords of 52ndstreet.com.
I'm coming.
And I do a lot of session work, that like we've
Right.
been talking about. So I got a few different studio things coming up, and
But you don't want people showing up for those, right? That's frowned
producer
upon.
probably would not be
Yeah.
that happy about that stuff. Yeah.
Any original gigs coming up?
No. I
Songs
I-
are great. You got. I mean.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I started 5 years ago. I got very into classical double bass and learning how to play with a bow and stuff like that.
Wow.
Like about 5 or 6 years ago. So
Wow.
that's kind of like my passion these days. It's sort of like taking the songwriting's kind of like falling over. I do more like just practicing the classical stuff. I started playing with the Riverside Orchestra, which is, if there's any classical music fans out there, we just finished the last season and starts up again at the end of September. It's on the Upper West Side. I don't know the exact website, but it's Riverside Orchestra, and it's really good. It's technically a community orchestra, but it's a really good one
Nice.
with really good players and a lot of people who were in like the Phil and in the Met Orchestra that are now retired, but they do it just to keep playing.
Right.
Yeah, we did like Schubert 9 and we did Tchaikovsky 6 and stuff like that. Really,
wow.
really amazing music. And so if there's any classical music fans, when fall rolls around, come out and support.
MalcolmGoldMusic.com.
MalcolmGoldMusic.com.
You know, I screwed the pooch here. There's a documentary on me coming out in the fall.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah, someone
Joke
mentioned
Man.
it earlier.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Where is that?
It's
Where-
not finished, but the guy swears it's going to be finished for fall, and we're working on nailing down a date. Mark Cuban agreed to be in it because,
Nice.
believe it or not, he owes me a favor, that's a story for the next time. It's too long.
Yeah. Please,
The trailer was premiered right here on this studio.
By
Oh,
mistake.
That's right.
By
That was-
mistake.
Weren't we not allowed to do it? We were like, this is going to be so, because we adore you.
They
so
pulled
we
it
put
the
it
next
up there.
day.
Yeah, we put it up there. And then as soon as we're all proud of ourselves, and then we get the message that like Jackie's like, yeah, you're not supposed to put that out yet.
Well, we told you.
No. What happened was it got such incredible response that the guy's agent said, "Look, you don't want to come too fast. You know, like yank it off there. And we'll want to put the trailer up when the thing's ready to chase people." Listen, we should go out on a joke, right? The whole
Yeah.
time I was on the Stern Show, I always knew that I could kill Paul McCartney if I had him for 5 seconds. Like it's like people that are Jet fans, people that are hockey fans, people that share an interest, like a
Right.
card collector, whatever it is. And McCartney loves dirty jokes, just like I got Willie Nelson, just like I had Les Paul. If people love jokes, they don't care about you. They just know they're going to get a new joke out of you, and they're going to have a good time. So, and Howard Stern used to say, if he ever met you, he'd be so bored with you, blah, blah. And I said, bullshit. Noel Redding used to come on, who was from Jimi Hendrix.
Hendrix,
band.
yeah.
Great
He
bass
said,
player.
oh, yeah, we were out with Paul and Linda last night. It was fun. I said, well, what do you guys do? He said, oh, we tell dick jokes all night, so much fun. I said, Noel, invite me to fucking dinner. He would love me. He would love me. So the whole world knows I want to tell McCartney a joke. And I had this a girlfriend. I had only been going out with her about a year. But, of course, she heard this whole thing over and over. So we're at a screening for The Big Short at MoMA in the city. And it's a highfalutin screening. I don't even know how we were invited. It's like Lorne Michaels and Tina Fey produced it. And it was a great movie. The Big Short is a big movie.
Yeah.
So we're down there, and it's a cocktail party. And there's people, everybody's either somebody you know or somebody you should know. And McCartney and his wife come down the stairs. And my girlfriend Barbara goes, there's Paul McCartney. You can tell him a joke. I said, listen, the reason somebody like Paul McCartney can go out in New York City is because nobody's going to bug him. That's why Woody Allen can walk down the street. You know, maybe Paul can't walk down the street, but he can come to a party like this. I'm sure there's not one person in this room that doesn't have a perfectly good reason to tell Paul McCartney where they were in 1964, and trust me, he does not give a fuck. You know?
Sure.
So I said, but thanks, it's a great, and after all that whole spiel about don't be silly, leave him alone, this is New York City, yak, yak, yak. Him and his wife walk around the perimeter of the room, and we're on the outside perimeter of the room, and his wife walks, I'm talking, she almost brushed against my nose, and he was a couple steps behind her, and he was right there, and I just
Carpe diemed.
touched his lapel, and he stopped and turned to me, and I said, can I tell you a joke? And he said, sure. And I told him a joke, and it killed him. He didn't say, I got one for you, mate, and hang out with me. He kept going.
Right.
But I'm sure it's in his repertoire, and I will tell you a joke.
Please.
A guy goes for a job interview, and the interviewer says, what do you think is your biggest fault? The guy says, I think my biggest fault is my honesty. And the interviewer says, I don't think honesty is a fault. The guy says, I don't give a fuck what you think.
And that is a good one to end on.
I'm totally stealing that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Don Michael Prager, who said he loved your
Don.
original, he got the answer correct.
Nice.
Don's awesome. Don's a
Don
great
is great,
musician.
yeah.
Yeah. You guys, thank you so
Oh,
much.
this is
Thank
so much
you.
fun.
Hey,
Such
open
a pleasure.
invitation anytime you guys
Such a
want.
pleasure.
Anytime
Such a
you
pleasure
guys
to
want.
meet you.
Likewise.
Screw you. I'm sorry.
No
Sally,
thanks
thank
to
you.
Tony. We love you,
Tony
Sally.
Walker, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys watch the Knock 'em Dead comedy show every day from 11 to 1.
Thank you.
And we will be back next week, next Monday. We'll be back here with a special 90s episode. We're going to do all songs from the 90s one-hit wonders for another 2-hour episode. 90s one-hit wonders for the first hour, the second hour, free-for-all. We have a ton of different musicians coming in to perform. That should be fun, with this little setup.
Yeah.
So, but this worked, so
Did-
we'll make that work.
Great
We
fun.
always make
Thank
it
you.
work.
It was
You
great.
guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
See you
whoever
next
was
Monday.
listening or
Yes,
watching.
indeed.
Yep. See you next time.